It's Friday, May the 1st, 2026. You're listening to the DX Today AI Daily Brief. Today, big tech earnings reshape the AI arms race as Apple bets on Google's Gemini and Meta sells $25 billion in bonds. Anthropic eyes a $900 billion valuation that would leapfrog OpenAI. And Elon Musk takes the witness stand and admits he trained Grok on OpenAI's models. Let's get into it.
Apple closed its fiscal second quarter Thursday with $111.2 billion in revenue, up 17%, and Chief Executive Tim Cook used the call to confirm what the industry has been waiting on. Apple will integrate Google's Gemini AI model to power an upgraded version of Siri. Cook said the collaboration with Google is going well, while emphasizing the company is still pursuing its own AI development independently. The announcement comes as Cook prepares to hand the chief executive role to John Ternussu on September 1st, with iPhone, Mac, and services all posting double-digit growth across every geographic segment. Apple's AI partnership choice is a major endorsement of Gemini's enterprise readiness.
From Cupertino to Menlo Park.
Meta Platforms reported first quarter results Wednesday evening that beat Wall Street estimates, but its stock plunged nearly 9% Thursday, the steepest drop since October. The reason? Meta raised its 2026 capital expenditure guidance to between $125 and $145 billion, up sharply from prior projections. The company also sold $25 billion in investment-grade bonds Thursday, joining Amazon and Alphabet in a big tech borrowing boom to finance AI infrastructure. Meta says its business AI tools now facilitate 10 million conversations per week, up from 1 million at the start of the year. JP Morgan downgraded the stock to neutral, citing concerns over the path to AI returns.
Now to Seattle and the cloud.
Amazon Web Services posted 28% revenue growth in the first quarter, beating analyst estimates and helping push Amazon's overall sales to $181.5 billion, up 17%. AWS Chief Executive Matt Garman said the company's AI run rate has now passed $15 billion in just 3 years. Bedrock, Amazon's foundation model platform, saw customer spending grow 170% quarter over quarter, processing more tokens in Q1 than in all prior years combined. Amazon also confirmed it has agreed to invest up to $25 billion more in Anthropic, on top of an existing $8 billion commitment, and the AWS backlog now stands at $364 billion.
Microsoft's results follow.
Microsoft reported third-quarter fiscal 2026 results Wednesday evening, with revenue of $82.9 billion, up 18%, and earnings per share of $4.27, well above estimates. The headline number was the AI business itself. Microsoft said its AI run rate has reached $37 billion annually, up 123% from a year ago, and nearly triple the $13 billion figure shared in early 2025. Azure and other cloud services grew 40%. Adoption of the 365 Copilot add-on hit 20 million seats. Chief Financial Officer Amy Hood said capital spending will exceed $40 billion this quarter and roughly $190 billion for the full calendar year.
And the valuation race heats up.
Anthropic is weighing preemptive offers for a new funding round at a valuation north of $900 billion, according to Bloomberg. If the deal closes, the maker of the Claude AI assistant would leapfrog longtime rival OpenAI, which most recently traded at around $850 billion, to become the most valuable AI startup in the world. The talks would more than double Anthropic's prior valuation, set just last fall, and come weeks after Google committed up to $40 billion in cash and compute, and Amazon expanded its own stake. Anthropic has not accepted any offer yet. The discussions reflect investor conviction that frontier model labs remain a scarce, defensible asset.
And to a courtroom in San Francisco.
Elon Musk took the witness stand Thursday in the federal trial of his lawsuit against OpenAI and made a striking admission. Musk testified that his own AI company, xAI, partly used OpenAI's models while training its Grok chatbot. The acknowledgement made under oath marks a rare public concession of a practice that has drawn industry scrutiny. The disclosure came on day 4 of a trial that could reshape the legal framework around AI model training. Separately Thursday, Musk also outlined a roadmap for Grok 5, which xAI plans to scale to 10 trillion parameters, a roughly 20-fold jump from the current Grok 4.2, with training running on the Colossus supercluster in Memphis.
Open weights make a move in Paris.
Mistral AI released Mistral Medium 3.5 Wednesday, a 128 billion parameter dense open weights model with a 256,000 token context window. The Paris-based lab also rolled out a set of agentic features, including remote coding agents and new work modes inside its Ashar interface. Mistral Medium 3.5 is priced at $1.50 per million input tokens and $7.50 per million output tokens, putting it well below comparable closed offerings from OpenAI and Anthropic. The release reinforces Mistral's positioning as Europe's flagship sovereign AI lab, with weights available for download and a permissive license for commercial deployment.
China's labs respond.
Baidu released ERNIE 5.1 preview Thursday, and the model immediately landed at number 1 among Chinese labs and number 13 globally on LM Arena's Text Arena leaderboard. The score of 1,476 places ERNIE 5.1 ahead of DeepSeek and well above Alibaba's Qwen offerings. The model showed particular strength in legal and government tasks, ranking first in that category, and 9th globally in math reasoning. Baidu has been racing to keep pace with Western frontier labs while navigating U.S. export controls on advanced chips. The ERNIE 5.1 preview release pairs with Baidu's wider push to monetize generative AI across its search business, autonomous driving, and Chinese enterprise cloud.
And from Shenzhen to your phone.
Tencent open-sourced a translation model called HiMT 1.5 this week, and the specs are turning heads. The model weighs in at 440 megabytes and uses 1.25-bit quantization, light enough to run fully on a smartphone. Despite that footprint, HiMT 1.5 covers 33 languages and reportedly outperforms Google Translate on standard benchmarks, matching results from commercial translation APIs and even some 235 billion parameter cloud-scale models. For developers and OEMs, that means real-time, offline translation without any cloud round trip. The release continues a wave of Chinese labs pushing aggressive open weights releases as a wedge against Silicon Valley's largely closed model strategy.
Hardware news from Shenzhen too.
Huawei now expects AI chip revenue to reach roughly $12 billion in 2026, up about 60% from $7.5 billion last year. The forecast, reported Thursday by the Financial Times, comes as orders surge for the Ascend 950 PR processor, which is manufactured by SMIC on its advanced node and offers performance estimated between NVIDIA's H100 and H200. Huawei plans to ship 750,000 units of the chip this year. The catalyst was DeepSeek's V4 model, optimized for Huawei Silicon. Alibaba, ByteDance, and Tencent are reportedly racing for allocation, while NVIDIA continues to face export controls limiting its share of the China market.
And SoftBank places a bet of its own.
SoftBank is preparing to spin out a new AI and robotics company called Rose and is targeting a U.S. initial public offering at up to $100 billion in the second half of 2026. The new entity will focus on building data centers and using robotics to accelerate construction at hyperscale sites. Rose is expected to bundle existing land, energy, and infrastructure assets from SoftBank's portfolio along with ABB Robotics, which the company agreed to acquire last year. The listing could help offset SoftBank's mounting commitments, including more than $30 billion pledged to OpenAI. Internal sources told the Financial Times the timeline and valuation remain fluid, with skepticism growing inside SoftBank itself.
And one funding round to close.
Natomi, a New York generative AI customer service platform, closed a $110 million Series C round Thursday, led by Accenture Ventures. The financing values the company at over $1 billion and accelerates its push into voice agents and large enterprise rollouts. Natomi's tech automates chat, voice, and email support for customers, including WestJet, Singtel, and HP. Chief Executive Puneet Mehta said the round will fund expansion into Europe and Japan, where enterprise demand for autonomous customer service is accelerating. The round caps a busy day in AI funding that also included a $50 million Series D extension at Swedish legal AI startup Legora. That's your briefing for Friday, May 1st, 2026. For DX Today, stay curious.